Then we go to the Madhurya Bhakta, that Sadhaka, that Gaudiya Vaishnava, that fortunate Gaudiya Vaishnava who's treading the path of Raganuga Bhajan, leading to Braj and leading to the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani and her eternal loving service with her beloved Govinda Dev and the kunjas of Vrindavan. And that sadhaka hears Krishna's voice and faints. And what does Krishna do with that sadhaka? Who's absorbed in Gopi Bhav, fully identifying with his, her, and all sadhakas have Gopi Sarup, Manjari Sarup. Then Krishna leans down and bends down on the ground where that Madhurya Bhakta is lying there, then puts his arms underneath the devotee's back and raises the devotee off the ground, and then kneeling next to the devotee on the Brajaraj, tightly wraps his arms around that devotee in a tight, loving embrace, prema lingita. That's the experience of the sadhaka who's cultivating Gopi Bhav and Raganuga Bhakti. This is described by Vishwanath. Tightly holds them to his chest and wraps his loving arms around his Madhurya Premi Bhakta. Such a sweet revelation, such a sweet picture, movie, whatever you want to say. The curtain of Yogamaya is removed by the mercy of Vishwanath, and we can see the reality we're perceiving. We can almost touch the reality we're striving for. Swasparsham dattva sokumaryam. Swasparsham dattva sokumaryam. He gives the touch, the very soft sukumar, the very soft touch the devotee feels, and then Madhurya Bhakta, the Gaudiya Vaishnava sadhaka who attains prema. And Vishnu Chakravarti explains, so this is the different ways that Krishna interacts with his different levels of devotees. Is this clear? Everything's clear? So we've covered how does Krishna touch his Premi Bhaktas. The first experience of the Premi Bhakta is to see Krishna, then we smell Krishna, then we hear Krishna's voice, then Krishna touches us. There's only one sense left, that's the rasa, the jiva, the tongue. It's called rasa. The tongue is also called ras. What does he say? Huh? Rasana. Rasana is also the Hindi word for tongue, because rasana, ras means taste, and without a tongue there's no taste. So because the taste buds, the sensors on the tongue, there's a sensor, one part of the tongue has a sensor to tell salt, sweet, bitter, shit like this. So the tongue is rasana. So he explains here, now he talks about the experience of tasting the Lord. Okay? So now he says, but this tasting of the Lord, for others, for other devotees, the Dasya Premi Bhaktas, for the Sakya Premi Bhaktas, or for the Vatsalya Premi Bhaktas, the way they can taste the Lord is by getting his prasadi. By getting his prasadi, tambul, or his Mahaprasad. So he says, Rasendriya Prayasi Bhav. Prayasi Bhav, this is what he says in Madhurya Kandamani, verse number 8, Vishnu Chakravarti. Rasendriya Prayasi Bhav. And then he says, Avishta Rati Bhajan. So those that are doing Madhurya Rati Bhajan, very interesting way to describe it. Those that are performing, devotees that are in Prayasi Bhav means Gopi Bhav. As amorous lovers of Krishna and Madhurya Rati, Krishna will kiss them so they can relish the unlimited transcendental nectar of Krishna's lips. This exchange with Krishna, of tasting Krishna's lips, is only possible for devotees practicing Rati Bhajan, worshipping Krishna as amorous lovers. So this is because we find the Shruticharis and the Dandakaranya sages, they were following the path of Raganuga Bhakti, and they were Gopi Anugata. They were worshipping and following the gopis with the desire to love Krishna as his lovers. So he stole their clothes in Mrigashirsha month, and later, a year later, in this Ras Leela, chapter 29, he will embrace them and kiss them, and they'll taste his lips. So for those that are following this Rati Bhajan, desiring to have Krishna as their lover, they will taste his lips. But we are those are called those devotees. But we are following the same mood, but we're also doing prayasi. We are developing the Gaudiya Vaishnava sadhakas are cultivating prayasi bhav and doing Madhurya Rati Bhajan. But there's two forms of Madhurya Rati Bhajan. One is called Sambhogichatmika, and one is called Bhavichatmika. So those Sakhis, like Lalita, Vishaka, and others, they want their Isha, their Atmika, their entire being is filled with the desire to please Krishna and with amorous seva, or enjoyment together, Sambhog. So that's Prayasi Bhav and Parakiya Bhav and Madhurya Rati. But the Manjaris are cultivating Kinkari Bhav or Manjari Bhav. They're also cultivating the same mood as the Braja Gopis like Lalita and Radharani, Parakiya Bhav, but their desires is to experience the love and the feelings in their heart without directly having union with Krishna. Because our line of love and our line of seva is traced to the lotus feet of Radharani as her kinkaris, as her sevadasis. So Rupa Goswami explains that those devotees pursuing Madhurya Rati, it's called Kamanuga Bhakti, with intense amorous desires to be Krishna's lover, like a Sakhi Bhav. There's two varieties of Sakhi Bhav. One is the Sambhog Ichatmika, Kamanuga Bhakti, and the other is Bhav Ichatmika, Kamanuga Bhakti. This is clearly described in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and the first wave, chapter 2, and verses 273 through 309.